Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing really well. So seeming as we're all stuck in quarantine, I want to show you how I curl my hair using my favourite curling tool ever. I have gone through so many different curling tools in my time, but I finally found my favourite. So I go from this and I am going to show you how I curl my hair. So I'm going to use the TONI&GUY Curl Squad Textured Styler. I was gifted this a few years ago and I have honestly loved it ever since. This has got little textured triangles on the styler to give your hair a little bit more volume, and it goes from large to smaller as well. So it really gives you a big fluffy bouncy wave, which I really like, and it's the perfect length for my hair too. So if you have long hair, this will definitely work for you. I'm just going to turn it on and wait for it to heat up. It only takes a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to take hold of my lockdown bun that I've been sporting every single day but today, and just rustle my hair through and brush it through, making sure there's no knots. And my hair's kind of recently washed, but I've been washing it a little bit less because quarantine life means I'm not going out, so it's looking so much healthier. From there, I'm just going to section the bottom half of my hair. I'm doing this section quite chunky because I feel like the bigger the curls at the bottom of your hair, it gives it that bounce and that volume that everyone really looks for, and then I'll build the curls up higher on my head in the top sections. This is quite a large section, almost half of my hair, and I'm going to go in and start curling. So I use my heat protection glove for this. This comes with the styler and I use this every single time. If not, you will burn your hands. And I'm going to go in and curl different size sections all around that half of my hair. Sometimes I do bigger ones, sometimes I do smaller ones. This means that you get a real bouncy look. You can obviously have it more uniformed if that's how you prefer your hair, but this is how I like it, and it also means that it can look kind of imperfect, so I don't have to get every single bit right. I find that this gives those really nice kind of natural bouncy curls that I absolutely love. So I'm going to just keep doing this for the whole of this section, just curling my hair around the tong, as you can see, starting from as high as possible and going down to the end. There's a little rubber bit at the end of the wand that's not actually heated up, so just obviously be mindful of that. But like I said, I have relatively long hair and this works really well for me. So like I said, I'm just going to keep going around my hair doing this, and then I will work on the top in a moment. You may notice as well that I am actually holding the curls once I release it from the wand. This just, whilst it slightly cools down, stops it from drooping, and it helps my hair hold the curl for a couple of days, which I find makes all the difference because my hair never used to hold a curl. I'm just going to go in and start sectioning a top section. Obviously I'm not a professional, this isn't like an actual section, but it just makes it a lot more easier to actually work around my head, and again it's something that I've just started to do and find it really easy for my hair. All in all, this probably takes me about 20 minutes to do, so it's not that time consuming, and I absolutely love the result. So I divide my hair in half just so I know what way to turn the barrel as I'm curling my hair, and I'll continue like I did the bottom section, this section too. Here I'm just taking little strands of hair that I have missed. I always do that, but I find again, meaning that you can do little sections and bigger sections, gives a more bouncy wave, so it doesn't matter if there are a little bit that you forget. So that's how my hair is looking at the moment, and I quite like the result. I think that it looks quite natural and it's quite a big bouncy curl. I'm just going to sort out the top section of my hair, so I wait until I do my parting section last, because I find that that's the only section I really need to be a little bit more particular about. So here I'm just taking extra hair that's around the parting that isn't basically the top section of my head, just to add a little bit more of a curl before I do that, because like I said, I do want to be a little bit more particular with that, and I'll show you how I section that bit in a moment. But this just means that I can add those extra curls that again will help to frame my face, and then the top sections will just help to complement that further. I will also leave a link to this curler in the description box below in case anyone is interested to find out more about it, as well as get your hands on it too. I honestly absolutely love it. It's my favourite curling tong ever, and I've mentioned before, but I've tried just so many, but this has definitely been my favourite, and I love the result. So here's my top section. Again, not very well done, but this just means that I can really focus on my parting area, as well as the bounce that curls like to give the top bit of your hair. So here I'm just gonna do the parting that I normally have, which is a bit of a dodgy middle parting, and obviously you can change it depending on how you have your hair every day, but that's generally how my hair goes. And so here I'm just going to really focus on the front sections and then create the higher waves in the top of my head, just to give a bit more volume and just make it all come together. So this is where I am being a little bit more particular. The strands of hair that I'm curling typically are a little bit bigger, because I don't want a really small spirally curl. But as you can see where I've done it at the front of my face, it really helps to frame my face. It gives a nice volume to it, and it just ties in the whole look. It's a huge difference. I much prefer my hair curly than straight. I feel like it gives my hair so much more volume, and I'm just going to keep curling that all throughout that top section, bringing it as high as I possibly can, but the front sections are always much higher. So the next side of my face, I'm just measuring up the other section I did for the other side of my face, just to make sure that it is the same, because I want these two to look almost identical if I can. That's the only two sections that I'm worried about looking the same, and like that it just really helps and just brings it all together. And then I'm going to continue around the back of my head like I have done before, and do that all the way round, and then I'll show you how it all ties together, because I'm fully aware that it's really tight curls at the moment, and this probably isn't how you'd have your hair every day, but I will be brushing it out to show you how that looks too. But I wanted to show you this first off. I then take a mirror to the back of my hair and just see which sections I've missed off. I always miss sections off, and this is again one of those things that when you do it yourself, it's not always perfect, but this doesn't have to be perfect at all. I just grab those sections and curl them as well. I find that this just helps to add that little bit of volume, and I normally end up still missing bits, but having another mirror to check on the back always makes a bit of a difference. And if there's any curls that have really dropped and are drooping lower than the rest, you can give them another curl as well. But when you're generally quite happy with your hair, you can see there I've missed another bit in the back, but it doesn't really matter. That's me kind of happy with that, and so I just wanted to show you it without it being brushed out, because if you are looking for more of a tight curl, you can achieve that with this tool, but I am going to brush it out to give that more volumized. It almost reminds me of the air wrap kind of curls, if that makes sense. If you've seen your favorite influencers or YouTubers using a Dyson air wrap, this is what I find when I brush it out, it really resembles. So that's why I love this tool so much. I'm just going to take my wet brush, but you can use any hairbrush that you have, and just gently brush through the curls. I don't do it too rigorously because, like I said, my hair doesn't always hold a curl as best as possible, but I find brushing it out just gives that more blow-dried effect. Like I said, you can keep it tight if you prefer that look, but I do prefer it brushed out slightly, especially when it's more of an everyday type of look as opposed to going out or something like that. But I find that this just really makes such a difference, gives a lot more volume, and I much prefer the end result. And even though I'm stuck in quarantine, I still like to do my hair sometimes, because it just makes you feel a little bit better. So if you're needing a bit of inspo, definitely put some makeup on, do your hair, and it will give you a new lease of life, I swear. So a little bit more about the styler, the reasons I love it so much. It's got a 360 cord, so no matter what direction you're curling your hair, it twists and it makes it so much easier. I haven't had this on any of my other curlers and it makes such a difference, and those textured triangles really help to add that little bit more volume, and it helps the hair really grip to the curler as well, which I really like. I love the fact that it goes from big to small, but it's not too small, so it achieves that really nice bouncy curl that I absolutely love. It takes only a couple minutes to heat up, and I just really love this hair curler. Honestly, it's one of my favourite. This is not an advert, I just really wanted to share how much I love it and show you my hair routine, so I hope you enjoyed. Bye!